Welcome, I'm Jon Caldara, president of the Independence Institute and your devil's advocate. Later on, we're going to be talking about this split in the Republican Party. But first, the power of local governments, and would you believe there's a lot of cronyism there still. From Arvada, I want to introduce Jonah Hearne. Thank you for being here. And your compatriot, Dave Chandler. Thank you for being here.
Nice to be here. Thank you.
I think we ought to say on the outside, this is a bit of a mixed marriage you guys have going on here. You're a pretty hardcore progressive. You used to be
well, I'm not too hardcore progressive, but
any progressive is hardcore progressive.
But that's absolutely true. This particular issue in Arvada is nonpartisan, bipartisan, all partisan. People all get wrapped up in it. Yes, transcends.
That's right, because
politics.
Corporate welfare also transcends partisanship. We'll get into that in a minute. And you're a Republican.
Yes, actually.
See, this is how you're supposed to be.
Actually,
look at that good look right there.
Yep,
yeah.
The type of Republican that never gets any phone calls and stuff like that because they know how I vote every time.
Right.
So,
first of all, it's important to start off this story saying that most government in Colorado is at the local level, and it is that local level which gets the least amount of scrutiny. There's no press, really, and there's kind of an inside clique in local governments, and cronyism grows through local governments. Am I off on this, or do you think
I think you're absolutely right, and this is a prime example of how a little effort can have enormous repercussions. You know, you go out and circulate a petition, as we're trying to get people to do in Arvada, and you can change local government. You know, it's fun to look at the national stuff and even the state stuff, but that's rather removed. This is where you live. This is your streets, and you can make an impact by actually participating.
But also, it is the backbone of government that community organizers become presidents now, and that if you want to get involved in the size and scope or how government works, it is in your backyard, and there's somebody doing it. But it's usually not people who are taxpayers. They're usually people who make money off of taxpayers. All right, let me give me the story. We're here today to talk about cronyism in Arvada, but it could be cronyism in any city because it's the same thing everywhere in Colorado. Give me the story.
So urban renewal is the challenge that I think we're facing in the metro area in general. The city of Arvada has a very active urban renewal team that essentially has done some really good things down in some really blighted areas. But as any government program tends to be, they can have some initial success, but then once that they feel successful, then they have to grow and grow and grow and grow.
Just to keep everyone on task here, urban renewal is usually an authority, or sometimes a city does it. The idea is to take a look at areas that are called blighted. That's a very important term of art. Blighted. And then the government has the right to come in there, change it around, revitalize it, do all sorts of good things. The problem is the term blight is so open to interpretation.
So open, so broad. We don't really have any blight in Arvada and haven't for quite some time. But as Jonah just said, yes, they look for areas to expand, and that's exactly what we're seeing in Arvada.
I mean, you can go to the Bronx, and if you want to see urban blight, or you go to Detroit if you want to see urban blight. Yeah. Here you might see a storefront that's vacant, and there's a weed popping up in the parking lot. That is what's called blight. Out by the airport in Aurora, they blighted hundreds of acres of land. There's nothing on there but weeds, open fields. I don't know how an open field can be blighted.
We had that actually in Highway 72 in Indiana. They blighted grasslands out there by the Rocky Flats area, and now it's our new Candelas. It's going to be a beautiful development. The challenge is that why did they have to blight grasslands?
Right, because when you blight it, government can take it. And when government can take it, then they can start doing wonderful business deals with people, developers who have money. And so it's the same way that we have a left-right coalition going here. The developers are also kind of a left-right coalition when it's coming in there. Right,
well, they call it economic. Blight now includes a term, economic enhancement. That
for whom?
A mom and pop that can't afford high rents
yes.
Becomes part of a blighted area because you have this government authority under urban renewal that can come in and offer all kinds of incentives, and so they get a higher rent paying clientele, and that's what so they drive the little mom and pops out of business.
And I think that's a unifying part of this entire thing, is where the Republican Party is very good about pro-business and all that type of stuff, but really the drive to free market and the American dream and having the ability to kind of be able to start off. And sometimes you're going to start off in a low rent area that maybe not as pretty. It's not going to have all the glitz and glamour of some new development, but you're going to be able to afford to start your business there.
And from the city's point of view, any city's point of view, the idea of this cronyism, the tax breaks, is that they're going to get a lot more money. The city's going to get money, so they'll have more to play with. You know, for me, every time I drive by IKEA, I look at that going, you know, how much tax breaks, how much money they threw at IKEA to do that, how much they're getting rebates on the taxes that they come. They're not paying taxes, but the city's making more money. And the mom and pop furniture store that could have been, you know, a block down the street, they don't get that kind of break, but because these guys do. All right, talk to me about Arvada. What's the story there? I've heard some good stuff, so bring me to $30.
This particular story begins with, it's part of the Gold Line, the fast tracks RTD line that's running through Arvada, and transit-oriented development to try and increase more people living around where the train stations are, and that's part of this.
And again, tax subsidies go to that. Whenever you see the pack and stack housing by a trolley stop, it's because some developer got some incentive
and
to
that's
do it.
exactly what they're trying to promote here. This is at 56th, Wadsworth Bypass and 56th Avenue. 9 acres of publicly owned land.
What's on that land now?
There's an RTD parking lot, which will go away. We built a $34 million parking garage that's at least 3 times over budget. But
whoa. You guys already bought a parking lot there for $35 million.
Built one.
We built a parking garage so that the old RTD park and ride is going to go away. So the plan is to put, what they want is a 2-story parking garage topped by 4 stories of apartments.
Of course.
Right. And to make this deal work, they want to give the developer, Trammell Crow, the property for $30. This is 9 acres of prime real estate for $30.
Time out. I want to make sure I understand this. 9 acres of prime Denver Metro land for $30.
Yep.
This is Trump-like business. I love this.
Right.
And the city owns it.
The city will own it. They don't own all of it yet. RTD still has yet to transfer because the train isn't running, and until the train runs, that's an intergovernmental agreement. On top of that, that's not the end of it. They get all of the property tax and sales tax until 2034.
They being the developer.
The developer.
So let me see if I got this one. I'm the developer. I go to Arvada and I go, I got a deal for you. Sell me this thing. What do you think the fair market value of these 9 acres are?
Well, the county assessor,
Rick Sandstrom.
Ron Sandstrom.
Oh, Ron.
Right. $6 million.
$6 million. I'm going to give you property worth $6 million for the price of 2 pizzas. Okay. And then after that, I'm going to build a whole bunch of stuff that you're going to like, but all the sales tax that you guys are going to get comes back to me too.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is a deal.
Oh, it's a great deal, and it's not for the Arvada taxpayer. We all have to pay. We have sales tax on groceries in Arvada still. So we all pay, but the developer's going to get all the tax money back. So they're getting a completely free ride.
So they get a free land and they get all their money back.
And a free ride.
And a free ride.
On city services, that's right.
That's spectacular.
Right.
As long as they build it to the city spec. The key, I think, here is that where the developer would be perfectly happy in buying it at a fair market value and then putting probably just a commercial development in that area because it's prime commercial area. They would be perfectly happy with doing that. In fact, has said so publicly. And yet the city's like, no, this is what we want. And the developer says, well, it's going to cost this much. It's not economic for us. And then, of course, that's where our taxpayer
dollars come in. This is where the arrogance comes in, is that some city planners get together and go, oh, I think it would be great if we had this. And it's not their money they're playing with. It's our money they're playing with. That's what's so insulting.
There's no free market involved here at all.
Yeah, there is no free market. There's no free market. All right, let's speed forward. Some cities have looked at this, and citizens have said, enough of this. If you're going to do it, we, the people, need to have something to say. Tell me what you guys are trying to do on this issue?
So in the kind of the route that Littleton and Wheat Ridge has taken in the past couple of years, we've essentially put together an initiative to change the charter of the city of Arvada to put a kind of a cap or a limit on city, I guess, giving away money.
Giving away money. Just say cronyism.
Yeah. So for any deals that they want to do $2.5 million or above, they need to seek the approval of the city of Arvada.
Gasp. Oh my God, this sounds awful. So that if you're going to put the taxpayers on the hook, let's remember, these are land deals.
Yes.
They're development deals. Development deals can go south and taxpayers really get hosed. Look at the riverfront project down in Littleton, millions of dollars, and taxpayers had to eat it because somebody was there saying, I bet we can make this work. We don't hire government officials to gamble with our money. We hire them to fix our damn roads.
Which it's interesting that you bring that up, because just last November, the City Council unanimously put on our ballot a tax hike, on a sales tax hike, to fix our roads because they didn't have enough money. But lo and behold, here we are now. We can give away prime real estate for $30, and we can give away tax revenue. I did this morning. It's not just this. This is a habit in Arvada. We've been doing this for so long. I added up about $50 million worth of tax giveaways over the last few years. So is it any wonder that we don't have sufficient revenue to maintain and fix our streets?
By the way, the city of Arvada taxpayers voted down that sales tax increase, and yet the city was able to find the money, and
isn't
most
that
of those
amazing
projects
how
are being
when
funded,
you don't raise taxes, somehow they find the money to get done what needs to get done every single time. All right, real quickly. People want to get involved in this because they need to look at this for their cities as well. I'm assuming they can contact you guys, and you can steer them through. You're trying to get this on the ballot for this fall.
This will probably have to be a special election sometime next year, just because of the way the calendar has worked out and the way this is played out. So we have a charter amendment initiative. We're collecting signatures. ProtectArvadaTaxpayers.com is where you can go to get all the information. There's the two provisions of it. We would also make, if they're going to sell public property to a private business worth over $1 million, they'd also have to come to
And if there are other activists out there going, I want to learn how to do this, I'm hoping you guys would show them the how-to manual on this.
Oh yeah, this is where it's at. It's exciting, it's hands-on. You get to see the impact of what you're doing. And
you get to piss off a whole bunch of cronies who are planning on insider deals.
You get lots of phone calls.
One last time, that website again
is ProtectArvadaTaxpayers.com.
Go get them, boys. This is big stuff. Stay tuned.